Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading, Tauruses. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's reading is going to focus on you, and if you are a sun, moon, or rising, or if you just feel like listening to this video because you're in the mood, you can certainly join me. We're going to go ahead and get straight into it, and I'm going to pull basically an astrology wheel for you for the next upcoming month so that we can, oh look, there's the Three of Cups. Okay, so hopefully you guys are doing okay. I'm going to take that as a good sign with the Three of Cups there. But let's go ahead and see. Spirit, can you show me for our Tauruses here? Can you show me for the Tauruses present today? What do they need to know upcoming for the next couple of weeks here, please, or the next 4 weeks? Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, there it is. All right. So that's the third house, the fourth house, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, wow, the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So many of you coming from a place, so this is on the bottom of the deck. Look at that with the Empress and the Magician and the 10 of Cups. All right, so a lot of you Tauruses, especially coming from the last month or so, last couple of weeks, may feel that there is a lot to feel grateful for. And, you know, work could be a mess with the Five of Wands here, but I feel like you guys are maintaining a positive attitude, or something that was a mess in your life, you decided to just stop worrying about it and to enjoy yourself and enjoy the time that you're spending with friends or family. And some of you are coming from a period of relative calm energy, okay? And we're wanting to keep the good vibes going coming up here in the next month with the Three of Cups. So we're gonna go ahead and see what we've got going on here. And I'm going to be pulling quite a few cards for you, okay? And for those of you that would like to continue on with me to the extended reading, I will be having an 18+ extended reading for your forecast, and you'll find a link to my Vimeo channel below, okay? So let's go ahead and see what you've got going on. We have the 10 of Wands, okay? Enjoy it while it lasts, right? We have the King of Wands. We have the 9 of Cups. We have the 10 of Swords. You know, when I did Aries reading had the 9 of Swords in the 4th house, okay? So you guys having some of those same issues. We have the 2 of Wands in the 5th house, and we have Justice in the 6th. We have the Hangman in the 7th. We have the Queen of Cups in the 8th. Wow, very deep energy there. Woo, we've got Death in the 9th house, okay? We've got the Chariot in your 10th house, okay? I like that for you guys because you're feeling motivated. We have the Tower in the 11th house, okay? And we have the Queen of Wands in the 12th house. All right, well, that is very interesting considering that you have the King of Wands in your 2nd house, okay? And okay, so for those of you getting confused by the houses, don't let it confuse you. Let me just go ahead and start. So your 2nd house is your house of money. And it looks like you guys, and I'm going to hit all the areas of your life, okay? But first and foremost, let's talk about this King of Wands. So you have King of Wands in your 2nd house, which means that you are forward-looking, hardworking, and confident when it comes to your opportunities and when it comes to your ideas and your thought processes and your actions. The King of Wands is all about action. It represents fire energy. Essentially, it is the fiery part of fire. So it is about visions, goals, dreams, you know, acting with responsibility and maturity, but also not, you know, not really backing down from what you want when it comes to your material goals, when it comes to your money, when it comes to the things that you are trying to create for yourself materially, okay? But I see there's somebody here in your 12th house, which is very interesting to me because the 12th house is where we are oftentimes unaware of something or someone. And because you have someone in your 12th house, to me, that tells me there could be somebody in your environment, and the Queen of Wands in the tarot represents Aries energy, or just somebody who's very fiery, that I feel like may be putting a lot on you, okay? And I feel on one hand, you just want to ignore this person and keep pressing on, okay? But I also think just be aware. Some of you could have an Aries, or you could fire sign, or it doesn't really matter, but somebody who, somebody that you're, because the 12th house is also the house of hidden enemies, okay? So some of you could have a fire sign woman, or somebody who is not, who's not on the same page as you. And for some of you, this could be a friend, because this Queen of Wands is observing the 11th house here, and the 11th house has the Tower in it, okay? So for some of you, this could be a friend or somebody in your circle that, you know, you weren't expecting to behave the way that they did. And some of you, your attention could be on something else. So you're not noticing that this issue could become a problem, okay? And, you know, so that's an interesting energy so far here, Taurus, with that. And one thing I think you guys need to be a little bit careful of during the next month is relentlessly driving yourself, okay? It's like, I will stop at nothing with the Chariot in your 10th house. The 10th house represents your career and your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your authority. Okay, and so the Chariot here is saying, I will stop at nothing until I get what I want, until I get the recognition I deserve, until I get what I want. All right, so the 10th house is also the most visible part of the horoscope. So when you're looking at the 10th house, this is a very visible area of your life. And this charioteer is here commanding a certain level of presence, okay? And, you know, with the Chariot, though, we have to be careful with the Tower. Okay, so this is interesting because you guys have the Tower, the Chariot, and Death all in a row here. So we have to be careful with the Tower that we're not overdoing it, that we're not, well, and the Tower also represents where we have gotten adjusted, quote unquote, adjusted by the universe because our expectations for ourselves or others are not realistic anymore. Okay. And, you know, so I think you guys need to be careful, especially with the 10 of Wands representing you in your first house here. You guys really do need to be careful of burnout. I feel like coming up over the next 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, okay? And also, I think be careful where your efforts are either A, not appreciated, B, where even if you continue to put more effort into a situation, it doesn't really do anything. It just actually causes the situation to erupt even further, okay? And I would also say be careful of taking on too much responsibility in the situation. And with the 9 of Cups in your 3rd house, communicating like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And the 10 of Wands could be like you not wanting to ask any questions and you not wanting to appear that you can't do something, okay? But I think it leads to more problems down the road. And this is like with the 3rd house, this is how we're communicating and, you know, and how we're showing up as it relates to like our neighborhood, our siblings, other people in our life besides like, you know, mom and dad or our parents. A lot of you may be older, maybe you're not interacting with those people as much, but the 3rd house is really where, you know, we're communicating something about where we're at in a given moment. So what I see here with the 9 of Cups is a lot of optimism in your thinking, okay? A lot of optimism in your thinking, a lot of hard driving energy in your 10th house with the Chariot, okay? But with the Tower there in the 11th house, maybe not enough direction on where you're going, right? So the 10 of Wands can also be where we've just buried ourselves in doing. We've buried ourselves in doing and we don't even know why we're doing it, okay? So I think it's really important for you guys to have a sense of direction that feels like, you know, and another word I'm getting here is impulsive, you know, is impulsive. So, and some of you just may be throwing the middle finger up to something right now and just saying, I don't care if something lives or dies, okay? With the Chariot and Death here, because the 9th house is a house of our dreams, and it basically shows where we're aiming for aspirationally as we work to the 10th house. So it's like I'm experiencing a death of my dreams, and some of you may be feeling like what you want aspirationally, like it's just not gonna happen. So you're going to take impulsive action here with the Chariot, and maybe the results that you get are not exactly what you wanted, okay? And Spirit just gave me the word like test tube baby. Okay, so maybe there's something you're working on creating or you're working on doing and you're just really excited about it, but it's a gamble, I feel like. And, you know, the results aren't always what we have wanted, okay? And I think some of you are also, in spite of what the haters say or what the people say or what the haters say or what anyone else says or does, I think you guys are going to press on no matter what, okay? Regardless of anybody else's disapproval, regardless of anyone else's meddling, regardless. And it's kind of like I'm seeing here, Taurus, like a battle of the wills. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure, you know, a lot of my Taurus friends out there, we tend to get very, and I say we because I'm also a Taurus, but, you know, we tend to get very willful sometimes. And a lot of people don't think Tauruses are that impulsive, but some of you may have fire in your charts too, okay? And also when, you know, a Taurus person has their mind set on something, they, you know, it's like consequences be damned. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And so I do see that energy coming up for you here. Now it's interesting in the 4th house. So the 4th house represents the darkest part of your horoscope, and it represents midnight in your chart. And, you know, the 10 of Swords is really, and also the 4th house has to do with family. Okay, so some of you just may be feeling like, I am done with this shit. I need to focus on my ambitions and my dreams, and I need to power up what it is that I want, okay? And the interesting thing is that we have the Charioteer here in the middle, and the Tower and the Death card, they're both Mars cards, okay? Because Death is Scorpio, the ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars. So we have two Mars energies here, and the Charioteer is trying to control the two Sphinxes and decide which way to go or how to best to control, manipulate, and guide a situation into the desired outcome, okay? And honestly, I think the best option for you guys is going to be to move through. I know it might be tempting to blow up a situation because, you know, some of you are going to call someone on their bluff, okay? Somebody that thinks that, you know, that you don't know what they're up to, okay, with this 12th house energy here. Some of you are about ready to call somebody's bluff. I feel like too. I feel like some of you think somebody is lying to you as well, all right? But I actually think the better use of your energy, instead of, you know, because the Tower can indicate like a flash of anger, impulsivity, and also the Tower is where sometimes things need to crumble in order to reveal what's there, you know, which is the Queen of Wands, okay? And the Queen of Wands also represents creative freedom. Okay, so some of you may be looking for more freedom in your life, more creative freedom in your life to do what it is that you want to do. And you're sick of, with the 10 of Wands, like you're sick of playing the part. And I get it, okay? It's like this shit was supposed to be good with the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, but it's not, okay? I actually think the best use of your energy is going to be this over here. So, you know, if there is drama, if there is somebody, if there is a friend or somebody that's a shit stir, shaking things up, and you know what's going on, and you want to kind of get back at it, or you want to put some energy toward it, I actually think the best use of your energy is going to be moving in this direction, where you say, you know what, with this Death card, I'm not going to give up on what I want. And with the Queen of Cups in the 8th house, I can feel intuitively and deeply and spiritually what it is that I want and need for myself, okay? And some of you here with the Queen of Cups in the 8th house are going to be very spiritually sensitive, psychically sensitive over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So it's important that you get your house in order. And it's like, you know, do I deal with this burning fire over here, or do I deal with, you know, or do I just kind of, what I see here is you turning away from the drama and instead putting your energy towards internal discovery is what I feel like you guys are doing, okay? And honestly, Tauruses, I feel like you're so consumed in the fire of your own energy in the next 4 to 6 months. I think many of you are like, okay, my love life is on hold. Or, okay, like, because your love life is going to be here, represented by the Hanged Man in the 7th house, okay? And, you know, you have the 10 of Wands with the Hanged Man here as far as your romantic energy with someone else, okay? I do think some of you may be able to have some very... if you have a lover already, and I do think you have the ability to go deep with that person, I do think this person may also be feeling very sensitive at this point too. And I do think if you can stop throwing your energy at 100 different things in order to kind of refocus on what's important, I do think for those of you that have someone, I do feel like you could be connecting to that person on a deeper level, okay? But some of you also may be dealing with a person that's just out to lunch, meaning they are absorbed with the Hanged Man, represent primal water energy. They are absorbed in the world around them, and they are absorbed in their own experience. And, you know, they're absorbed in their experience of the world and what it means to them. And they may not be that accessible to you right now, okay? And I don't know if you guys have that much energy to give either with the 10 of Wands here. And because there's a lot that you're managing. And with the King of Wands could definitely be a manager or a money manager, or someone who's trying to stay on top of their money and trying to really be proactive, all right? And, you know, eliminate wastefulness is another thing that I'm getting here for you guys. So you guys really taking a strong stance when it comes to your financial energies. Now, I think here with this Queen of Cups in the 8th house, because the 8th house is also a house of debt, and some of you maybe in the past were loaning people money, or you're being very nice with people, or you were trying to take care of people, you know, in some way financially here. And I feel like with the King of Wands in the 2nd house, it's like, no. I am going to take charge of my position, and I'm going to be like measuring things out to see if things make sense, okay? And, you know, you really want to stay on top of things with the King of Wands in your 2nd house, and you're going to feel very motivated in that area. I see, you know, with the King of Wands, the Tower, Death, the Chariot. These are cards of intense motivation and intense expenditures of energy, which at the end of the day, at midnight in your 4th house here, could leave you just completely exhausted by the end of the day, where it's just, you can't even lift a finger anymore. Okay. And you just can't. I also feel like you guys are getting tired of other people's excuses as well too. And I feel like a lot of you are saying, I don't want to hear it. Unless you have something, 9 of Cups, unless you have something encouraging and nice or whatever to say, like, I don't really want to hear it right now. Okay. So people may be feeling like, because the 8th house represents what's hidden, and we have the Queen of Cups there. So a lot of people may be feeling like you're not being like as empathetic as you usually are, and that you just, you know, there might be certain things that you're like, I just don't care anymore. Okay. Some of you may not be caring that much about how other people see you or what they think about you anymore, and you just are too tired to care. I don't know why. There's this one song that it always reminds me of. It's by this group called Nouvelle Vague, and the song is called Too Drunk to Fuck. And the Hangman definitely representing that Neptunian energy, and the 4 of Swords at night, at midnight, just being very like done with the day. Okay, so some of you could be feeling like you're too drunk to fuck, or whoever you like is too, you know, everyone's just everyone's out of it. Okay, and your partner may be feeling like very disconnected from reality, or disconnected from their bodies, and also very absorbed in their own particular experience. And you know, also they could be very absorbed in their own particular experience of suffering, and may miss out a little bit on the struggle that you're going through. Okay, so for those of you that are in partnerships, there may not be, for like, you know, energy in your household and things like that, because the 4th house is also like representing real estate, you know, where we live, where we go to lay our heads at night and things like that. Some of you just may not be caring that much about like your humble abode or where you put your head at night. You're just like, I don't, you know, you have 2 10s here. So you might just be like, you know, I'm putting everything I got into this one thing, into my dreams and goals, and either get out of my way or help me out here. Okay. Because I also think if there is somebody that is been going against you, or somebody that has been, you know, somebody who's been your enemy or a hidden enemy to you, I do feel like, especially if it's a friendship, because the 11th house is the house of friends, this person could definitely be exposed. Okay. And some of you may have known kind of all along anyway. All right. And with the 5th house, we can see that there is like plenty, with the 2 of Wands in the 5th house, there's plenty of things to get you excited and to get you going. And some of you may really want to go out or go to a party or have some fun or put some energy into your social life. Or for some of you that have children, your children may be, you know, pulling on your hands, pulling on your shirt, mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, can we, and wanting to go do things. And you're like, I'm sorry, I can't. The 10 of Wands or the 10 of Swords, leave me alone. Okay. So, you know, and with the Hangman, I really feel like it's a situation of shoe fly, don't bother me. So some of you may not even be in a mindset right now when it comes to a partner, just like, I don't need more stress, you know, because that's a lot of Mars energy at the top there. So, but I do think, you know, a good place for you guys, especially, you know, your 6th house is looking pretty good with Justice here. And that's telling me that you're making a major decision when it comes to your health, or when it comes to your stress levels. Okay. And, like, you know, it's like, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to keep like, You know, and I think when it comes to like daily chores or household things, I feel like, you know, just the daily routines that you have, I feel like some of you are calling people out and saying, you know, like, this isn't going to continue to work like this anymore. I need more. I need to see more from you. Okay. And some of you, like I said, too, could be making a big decision about a health matter or something that you've been meaning to do or work on for a long time when it comes to your own physical well-being, okay? You're making smart decisions. Some of you may be making some smart decisions about like what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, you know, what daily regimen you're choosing to follow. Also, some of you may not be wanting to do much anymore with this Ten of Swords around the house, but you may be asking a lot of other people to do their fair share. And some of you may be becoming a stickler on other people, whether it's a roommate, whether it's your children, whether it is a partner, whoever it is, you may be or even a doctor or somebody giving you advice. Like, I feel like you guys are really putting it under the microscope and becoming a stickler about it and speaking up, okay, with justice, like really speaking up about what you think about other people's daily habits. And I feel like with justice here, you guys are noticing the details, okay? Like, you're really noticing the details of what other people are saying and doing. And some of you may be like editing something or taking a really close look at a contract or something like that, okay? So with justice here, we could definitely have that going on. And for some of you, justice may be asking you, for those of you that are partnered, you may be asking your partner to do a lot more around the house or to take on more of a bigger role is what I'm seeing here too. And like not letting people get away with not doing the things that they don't want to do, okay? And some of you may actually be the same to yourself. Like, I've got to take care of some things myself that I've been meaning to do. The issue though is, Taurus, is I think it's putting a lot on you because your to-do list could be like a mile long, okay? So I think that that's something to think about. But let's go ahead. I'm going to get a little bit more information here. I mean, the next month coming up for you does feel like supercharged, very turbo here with the Tower, the Chariot, and Death, okay? But I do think, you know, making some good decisions about your health and well-being and not pushing yourself too far into, you know, burnout is going to be wise for you guys, okay? But let's go ahead and see. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about the next upcoming 4 to 6 weeks here? I just feel like you guys don't want to be bored, but at the same time, that could really get out of control. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be bored, but that also, you know, that need of wanting not to be bored could also feel kind of like out of control, okay? And it's like, whatever you do, don't bore me, for God's sakes, you know? And then we have here, and really though, you know, what you may really need is a good hard cry, okay? With the Eight of Cups with the Queen of Cups in the 8th house, some of you may need to, you know, really let your emotions out in private. Maybe you don't feel comfortable doing that around other people or in front of people because the 8th house can represent what's been hidden. The 8th house is also a house of anxiety. So it's like, you know, you really, you know, I feel like it's going to be very easy for you guys to absorb feelings during the next 4 to 6 months. So you know, you want to make sure to, you know, some people would say energy shield or whatever, but yeah, we have mystery here. So, you know, it's quite the mystery how we go from like things being really nice and lovely with the 10 of Cups to like living the dream to the 10 of Wands, which is like, you know, feeling really hard done by, okay? So there could be, some of you may be asking yourself like, what truly does make me happy? Like, I thought I was happy, but then I wasn't happy. And, you know, some of you may be doing a lot to try to figure out what makes you happy. We have sweetness here. Okay, so definitely taking time to take a break and to, I would say too, Taurus, enjoy the journey. Do you know what I mean? Because the 10 of Wands is so focused on getting somewhere, very, no matter what. Like, even if, you know, the conditions are shitty and it's not a good day, to, you know, if there's if there's, you know, 20 inches of snow and you're like, today's the day I'm gonna go get groceries, I don't care, you know, that type of thing. I would say, you know, chill, enjoy the journey, right? It's not so much the destination, and that may be hard to do. But some of you here with this 10 of Swords in the 4th house may really be feeling, you know, just really battle weary, and also quite, you know, quote unquote over it, I feel like. And some of you just may want to feel like disappearing and like being like, you know, when people can't contact you and when no one can talk to you. Some of you may just feel like kind of disappearing sometimes too, especially in the nighttime. All right. So Spirit is just saying, try to, I know you're very focused and determined, but I feel like try to enjoy the journey, not the destination. We have the King of Wands and abundance. Okay, so you guys are doing well with your money, and you know, really in the next 4 to 6 weeks, really taking control of your finances. Maybe some of you are going to make a budget. Maybe some of you are going to come up with some new ideas. But I also just feel like you're saying, I'm staring abundance in the face, and I'm not going to let anyone push me around, and I'm in charge of my financial life. And if anybody tries to mess with your money, I feel you guys could be, you know, like hawks on someone who tried to like mess with your financial status, okay? And I'm also seeing, but I think it's a good thing. I really do. I think it's a good thing. Some of you are owed abundance for the very good work that you've been doing. And I feel like it's like planned abundance, okay? And I am seeing like a purple necklace, or somebody wanting to reward themselves or maybe get themselves a necklace or something like that because, you know, they've done so well, okay? And so that looks good. That looks really good. I mean, that's where your hard work is actually paying off, okay? And where it has been paying off. We have here disruption. Okay, so, you know, sometimes we can have too much of a good time, but, you know, there's this sweet disruptions in life too. And, you know, the 9 of Cups is where we kind of have our self-realization of happiness and what makes us happy. But some of you may be looking at, you know, communications, discussions, things like that as being disruptive at times, and maybe instead of being welcoming. But I also think some of you could be having uplifting conversations with people that actually improve your mindset. So I wouldn't like shun everyone and everything over what you're doing, because I think you do need to get your mind off some things, and you do need like a sweet disruption. We have here isolation with the 10 of Swords. So this is just telling me that when it comes to like the pain that you carry, when it comes, for some of you, when it comes to your families too, you feel like they don't understand you and they will never understand you, okay? And for some of you, I feel like you're saying that the deepest part of you is buried within, and at this point, it's not even worth it, okay? So I do think some of you here with this 10 of Wands, you may be working a lot and really focused on your money, and you know, because you don't want to, there may be certain painful things that you guys have been suppressing that you haven't really talked about. And with the Queen of Cups in the 8th house, maybe some of you could really, it would be beneficial to like talk to a therapist, or it'd be beneficial to talk to a trusted friend, okay? And I feel like some of you here are that trusted friend that everybody reveals their secrets to, that everyone talks to. But who can you talk to? Do you know what I'm saying? Who hears your deepest, darkest secrets, okay? And I know sometimes like life can just feel like it's too much to carry. I've been there myself, so I know how that feels. We have illumination here with the 2 of Wands. So the 5th house has to do with children and pleasure and just basic, it's also like where we get our mojo. And I feel like some of you are realizing the reason why I feel like my mojo is stuck is because I feel like no one really understands me and understands what I'm going through, okay? And for some of you here, you may have, like your children may be starting to see how, for those of you that have kids, maybe starting to see how their constant, you know, annoyance or constantly, you know, knocking on your door or constantly bothering you about things is just, you know, making things worse for you, okay? And, you know, young children particularly can be selfish little bastards, you know what I mean? Not to be mean about kids, I don't have kids, but like, you know, when they're real young, a lot of times they just don't know. But also, I just think that you guys are starting to see that when it comes to your joy, because the 5th house is also like joy. The 5th house receives a trine from the 1st house. So the 5th house is also like, as we move around the chart, is like the first happy place, okay? That we're really happy. And I think some of you are starting to see what has been stealing your joy and what has been stealing your motivation. And for some of you, it's this sense of isolation and despair that frankly, for some of you have been dealing with for a very long time, I feel, okay? And we have here, we have death with justice. Wow. Okay, also, I feel for those of you that where somebody sent you a bill and the bill was erroneous, okay? When somebody did something that they thought that you wouldn't notice, but you notice it. And I'm just giving you guys an example of someone sending an erroneous bill, because I think that's like really relatable. When you receive a bill and you start looking at it and the itemizations and you're looking at it at detail and it's like, this does not make sense, okay? And something you guys are reviewing, it could be a receipt or a document, you know, something that you got in the mail or something that you got via email or through some communication that does not make sense to you, okay? And I feel like some of you are really pushing back on, you know, and saying like, hey, I reviewed this or I looked at this and this does not make sense to me and I need somebody to answer my question, okay? So basically, I feel like this is a justice that like can't be ignored, okay? And some of you may be deciding to terminate certain relationships with certain healthcare providers, therapists, you know, for those of you that have employees or for those of you that have different people, you know, if you have someone cleaning your house or if you have somebody, you know, your dentist, anybody. I feel like there is something that some of you guys could be firing someone. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have employees, like, you know, somebody that the gardener or whoever, do you know what I'm saying, Taurus? I feel like some of you could be just like, that's enough. Or you got a bill, like a credit card bill or something, and you're like, there's some fucked up charges on here and I'm about to give someone a piece of my mind. Anyway, and look at you with your King of Wands in the 2nd house of money, like, ah ha ha, don't fuck with my abundance, okay? And so yeah, people better be watching out for Taurus because I think you guys are not going to miss anything this month. We have caution and the hangman. So right now, you know, there's a lot of unspoken feelings here between you and a person, but right now may not be the right time to approach a sensitive subject, is what I feel. Okay. And also, I feel like if somebody has been kind of like leading you guys on, or if somebody is not very dependable and they're very flaky, or they seem very self-absorbed and you have barely even gotten to know them, but you're just like, you know, they don't really seem like they're any better than my ex, or things like this, okay? Because the hangman can be where we get trapped in a memory. Do you know what I'm saying? And some of you may be like idealizing a situation from your past, or you may be getting kind of caught up in a memory, an emotional memory of something or someone, okay? But I feel like Spirit is saying, don't wax too poetic on any situation, and don't idealize it to the point, you know, sometimes like we fantasize about someone or something that we really care about, okay? But I feel like right now isn't the time for like fantasizing about things that are like unrealistic or aren't currently in front of you, because there is like so many other intense energies that are happening at the top here, okay? So also, I feel like there's an energy of ignoring someone. And I feel like some of you are thinking about a person that you still care about with the Queen of Cups in the 8th house, but you're just saying to yourself, I'm going to ignore this situation for now. I have like bigger fish to fry. Okay, it's 555 in your reading right now, Tauruses. We have determination with the Queen of Cups here in the 8th house. And I see you guys, when you love someone, when you care, when you deeply feel bonded to someone, you don't want to give up on it. It's like your soul kind of absorbs them into you, okay? And I feel like some of you would like rather die than give up when it comes to, and I don't mean that literally, but do you know what I mean? It's like an emotional death. You'd rather, you know, there's always this feeling here with the 9 of Cups in the 3rd house with disruption of like, you know, things could always get, you know, things could always get better. I don't really want to give up on something, and I don't really want to quit trying, because tomorrow the energy could change, you know? And that's very true, because you have so much water in your relationship houses right now, that it feels, you know, feels pretty, you know, it feels pretty intense is what I'm getting, okay? And, you know, the Queen of Cups gets very absorbed in her feelings and her emotions. She represents water of water energy. So it's like, I'm determined to go where my feelings and my emotions and my psychic senses for some of you are going. And I feel like some of you may be getting for those of you that do develop yourself psychically, I feel like this may be a good month for that, because you're more determined than ever. I just wouldn't be getting self-sacrificial about relationships at this time. Relationships where you bonded very deeply with someone in the past, I can see here, but where, you know, things became challenging. All right, so let's go ahead and see. We've found the Death card. We have, it's okay to like love and be, you know, the Queen of Cups is like a marathon runner when it comes to emotional, you know, care and love and expression. But the Queen of Cups can also get very focused and obsessed on something too. And I think we can see that with Death and the Queen of Cups and the determination here. So, you know, not being very focused and obsessed on something is probably something you don't really want to deal with. And we have death and pain here in the 9th house. And like I said, the 9th house is our dreams and our visions and our goals and our, You know, it's like with the nine of cups and the disruption, it's like something came along and disrupted my happy thoughts, my good thoughts, and put me in a really fucked up mood. Okay, so some of you may be feeling that pain and tension. And the ninth house too is also like our higher education, traveling, really wanting to see someone. Okay. For those of you that feel like there's a goal or a dream of yours that you just can't ignore anymore, but at the same time, it's brought you a lot of pain and uncertainty, and you feel like it's been blowing up in your face, okay? I do see something here with that, okay? And the ninth house is also where we become very attached to our dreams and our goals, okay? And, you know, that's good. It's good, but I also feel like this is bringing you guys a lot of pain. And some of you may be saying that you're going to give something one more chance and then you're going to give up on it. Because it's caused you so much pain. Like, I will give this thing one more chance, and as much as I care and as much as I love it, if it doesn't work, then I can't anymore, okay? And that may be about a relationship, it may be about a dream that you have or a goal that you have. And sometimes, like, when we're down, to keep moving forward and to keep trying and to keep moving forward causes a lot of pain, right? And when we resist the ending of something because we don't want to face it, it oftentimes brings us more pain, you know? So I do feel like, you know, this is something, ultimately the death card is the writer on the death card is going to meet the sun and to meet the rising sun, okay? And it's very much like, it's very much like a pilgrimage almost, you know? And yeah, so it's like something disrupted my happy thoughts and put me in a really bad place. But I'm starting to see what's been sucking my joy, okay? And then we have frustration. Yeah, with the Chariot. So we have Mars energy with the Tower and the Death card. And then with the Chariot, it's like, I am very frustrated. I keep trying for this thing that I want, and I can't quit loving it or thinking about it or caring about it, but I also feel like it's ruining me, okay? Or it's taking me to a place in myself that, as much as I love it, has really hurt me too, you know? So that's it. Life is like that sometimes, and I understand your pain on that, okay? And some of you may be very frustrated with your pain because you're finding it hard to move on from something and hard to let go of something, okay? But with the Hangman, we really want to be careful of like investing in a fantasy. We want to be careful about the details and that we're watching everything carefully and that we're not making impulsive decisions. Do you know what I'm saying? And some of you may, like, you're trying to make something happen with your work or your career or your sense of direction. And some of you may be feeling lost, like you don't have a sense of direction, that your dreams have been spoiled with pain in the ninth house, okay? And you may be feeling like in your heart of hearts, you really don't want to give up, but at the same time, you can't deny the reality that you've been very frustrated. And I would also say, because the 10th house is very visible, I would be careful about, you know, like lashing out. I'd be careful of exhausting your energy. I'd be careful of, like, you know, showing like a lot of like temper in a given moment, okay? I think the best thing for you guys is to go back into your heart of hearts and think about, why is it that I was doing this in the first place? Because I feel like something got corrupted here. with this Death card about your future and your direction and all of that, okay, Taurus? And it's creating, because I feel like you're of two minds, and it's creating a lot of frustration because it's like, what direction am I going here? And it may feel like no matter what direction you go, like there's no good answer. And I know how that is. And I think, you know, also with the Queen of Wands here, sometimes what's in our 12th house is us. Like we are in our own 12th house and the cause of our own pain and our own self-undoing. And maybe we're trying to like blame it on other people. As Milli Vanilli would say, blame it on the rain, right? And I can say that because I'm a Taurus too. But anyway, some of you may have a Scorpio in your life who's been a real pain in the ass too, okay? And, you know, you don't want to give up on this person, but they're also, it's been a rough go of it, okay? And this is a frustration about what direction you should go, because it seems like if you keep working on a dream of something that you love, like it's completely stalled out. But if you also give up on it, it feels like you have to start over, and that's scary, all right? And so it's interesting. We have movement with the Tower, okay? Well, that's at least, you know, what we can at least say about the Tower is that we will have movement. Okay, and some of you may feel like you're revisiting pain from your past, and you're like digging up old emotions and old feelings, and maybe that isn't a place that you want to linger too long, okay? At least with the Tower, we have some movement, and it may not be what we want. It may not be, you know, it may not be our optimal outcome, but at the same time, I feel like some of you already predicted it with this Queen of Cups in the 8th house. You already knew that something was coming, okay? Or you already knew, like, there she blows. Or you already knew, like, you know, I can feel the winds are changing, okay? And some of you have been trying to prepare, I feel like, but nothing really can prepare you for the moment that something happens, you know, as much as you try, like nothing can actually prepare you for the pain that you can or may experience in a particular moment, okay? And some of you may be having an incredibly painful moment when it comes to a friendship, okay? And, you know, some of you wanting you two to see eye to eye for a while, feeling very disrespected, feeling like they're not seeing where you're coming from at all, okay? I see two people here who are both very determined to get their way, but actually they both end up creating the situation which leads to the blow up. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would just be careful of trying to force yourself or force anyone else into like a quick solution or a quick outcome, all right? And also the 11th house is the house of our hopes and our desires as well, and it also represents the money from our career, okay? So some of you are really taking charge of your investments or your money or where you're getting it from, but you may also have been trying to make more money career-wise or push harder, but it seems like with the Chariot in the 10th house, it's not really making any difference. So a lot of you may just be saying, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, Taurus, if you have that on your mind. We have the Queen of Wands, and then we have energy, okay? So there may be somebody. And the 12th house, again, is a very malefic house in astrology. It is the most malefic, and it is the house of psychological pain and self-undoing. So there could literally be somebody that is sending you. It's also the house of our hidden enemies and witchcraft that is done against us, not the good witchcraft, okay? I do feel like there could be somebody, some bitch in your environment who isn't sending you very good energy, all right? And some of you may have been trying to deal with this person for a while, and at this point, it's just like, I've been trying to deal with this person. I've been in pain about it. I haven't wanted to give up on this person, but I'm ready to just throw in the towel and say, you know, big old fuck you, you know? So I think that there is something going on there. And I'm not saying the, you know, witchcraft done against you to scare you or to, you know, discombobulate your mind. I feel like if there is someone, think about a person that you've been really trying to get to see your position, or to why you're doing what you're doing, or to try to understand why you have made certain moves or decisions, okay? For some of you, this could be a family member, because we see, or a mother figure, a family member, somebody who just doesn't get you, and they never will, okay, with this Ten of Swords. And it's like, you know, the Ten of Swords can just show us where like something is become so fruitless that they're literally, you know, we can't even see ourselves anymore. It's just literally blank, empty space of nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? And some of you may just want to be left alone. All right. But I also feel there could be somebody wanting to pick a fight with you. And I feel like, you know, even if they're in the background, just throwing bitch ass energy your way, I feel like you guys can feel it. If I describe that person to you, this person that you've been trying to get to understand why you're doing what you're doing, or getting you to see why you've made the choices that you've made, I feel like now is as good as time as any to just move on from that, you know? Like, stop trying to get that person to see your viewpoint. Stop getting them, you know, stop getting involved in a, you know, in a, you know, tango of death with them. Like, just stop it. You know, a test of the wills, a test of, you know, with the Tower, we can become very embattled and bitter as well too, because it's like, you know, everything I try to create or everything I try to do just gets completely struck down, you know? And at this point, I feel like I've got nothing to lose, you know? So I feel like that's where some of the impulsivity may come in. And I would also too, with the Queen of Wands and energy in the 12th house, just be careful of self-sabotage, okay? Because sometimes it's not anybody else that is, you know, doing anything. It might just be ourselves, you know, feeding that fire, feeding those flames. And it just might be our own insecurities. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that that is something, and you guys came out with the Three of Cups at the beginning of your reading. So, you know, finding some good people, supportive people that you can trust to get your mind off things and enjoy life with, this would be a good antidote to the Ten of Wands. Because I said the Ten of Wands is more of a enjoy the journey, put down the wands, enjoy the journey. It's about the journey, not the destination. And the Three of Cups really shows a celebration of a journey, okay? Of a journey that feels very uplifting and enlightening, all right? So yeah, sometimes we want to see certain, you know, results for our effort, and I get it. When you've been putting in a lot, you want to see it. But I also feel like Spirit is saying, drawing your attention to this Three of Cups, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple cards for you guys here regarding what you should be focused on. And then we're going to take it to your 18 plus extended reading, okay? You can see my Vimeo channel below. So let's go ahead and see a very dynamic month and a half or month coming up for you, Taurus, just so you're prepared and you're not shooting your own self in your own foot. But let's go ahead and see, what should Taurus be focused on right now, okay? Uranus, genius, okay? So thinking of, and look at the 5th house and creativity, all right? So I do think there's gonna be secret things in your 5th house that become illuminated, and you start to see, like, this is the reason why I've been feeling like shit. So I think there is some surprise there for you. But with Uranus here, Uranus energy is all about thinking about different ways to do things, right? Finding workarounds to situations and doing things differently. You're not going to do things the way that everyone else is doing them, because I don't feel like you're going to like the results that it produces. You know what I'm saying? I feel like right now is the time to like look at things with fresh eyes and also do the unexpected. And it says genius on here, right? So if this person in the 10 of Wands, if is carrying 10 wands, can't even see where they're going, is completely overwhelmed, like doesn't even care about themselves anymore, is just pushing to push, and imagine like if you found a faster way to do something. Imagine if you took those 10 wands and, built if there was a big, river you were trying to get across and you built a raft and you just sailed right over so much land and made it to the other side and saved yourself hours and hours of time. Okay. So this is saying, and right now Uranus is in Taurus. And for those of you that are in your early 40s, some of you Tauruses are having Uranus oppositions right now. I'm in my Uranus opposition. I'm a Taurus. I'm right there with you. So I talked about the winds of change and the winds and all of that earlier. Uranus definitely represents that. And it represents a different or new way of looking at something or doing something and doing the unexpected. Not because to like piss off other people or whatever, or to be super impulsive, but to actually be ingenious, to actually like do something that saves you time, effort, and energy. All right. And people may not be expecting that from you, but I also think it's time to turn the page. Okay. So let's get another one here for my Tauruses, please. One more here for the Tauruses. One more. Spirit, can you show me one more for the Tauruses? One more. Okay. I am perceptive. Yes, the Queen of Cups in the 8th house. You definitely are perceptive. And, even when you guys are head down working and you don't notice anybody else or anything else, you're still very perceptive. You may hide it from other people, but, you may try to hide it from yourself, but it's there. You have an inquisitive mind that allows you to uncover important truths. You have special ability to read into other people's feelings. You're a wisdom seeker, and your angels ask you to share your knowledge for the benefit of others. Okay, so don't hold back. All right, if you feel like with the Queen of Wands and energy, you feel like there's a part of yourself, like the very innovative side of you, inquisitive, intuitive side of you, that you've been holding back because sometimes it's hard to do something different. We just follow something or do it unquestioningly. I feel like right now is the time to be perceptive. And you have Justice in the 6th house too. So Justice is also very perceptive too. And if you have anybody like romantic wise trying to fuck with you or play slippery games with you, I think you're gonna see right through that, even if you do care about them. And also some of you with Justice here are gonna see right through if someone's trying to rip you off or isn't like being truthful with you about the facts, okay? And so just remember to use your powers of intuition and perception. Perception isn't just intuition, it's also intelligence, okay? So I like that for you guys. And that also talks about, when we're really being perceptive, we're slowing down to notice what is going on and we're not being like so impulsive, right? We're just getting curious about things. All right, when it comes to love, for Taurus, what does Taurus need to know here when it comes to love? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get one for you. We have this card right here, and it says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Okay, so for those of you that do have a partner or you are dating someone, it's talking about this sense of like being on two separate paths or avoiding each other with the 10 of Wands and the Hangman. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform, okay? And with death here and pain and the Queen of Cups, we definitely need something to transform, okay? With the Hangman, it's like we've become kind of stuck in a feeling. Do you know what I mean? I'm also just getting that I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. You know, whatever. Anyway, hooked on a feeling. Right? Criticizing one another, or just, you know, failing to see where each person is at will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other for where you're at, and your relationship will magically transform, okay? So for those of you that are currently in partnerships, that's what is coming up here. And I'm going to get one more card for you guys, and we're going to take it deeper on your extended reading. And some of you Tauruses, you may have Scorpio in your chart, or big time Pluto aspects, or Mars aspects in your chart, because I am feeling that deep scorpionic energy, okay? But the moon is actually in Scorpio today, I think, so that can be another reason for it, all right? Talking about that magical transformation. Yeah, the Queen of Wands with energy in the 12th house. Maybe some of you are prone to criticizing your own selves as well, or like shooting your own self in the foot, okay? It's like, if my effort isn't perfect, I'm just gonna destroy it, you know? So that can be hard. That can be very hard. But let's go ahead and see. Okay, this is what Spirit would like Taurus to focus on coming up over the next month. Protection. Wow. And I was talking about somebody or a particular situation that's causing you pain or causing you discomfort. Okay, so I think it is important for you guys to be quick-witted, be perceptive, and be on your feet, okay? But also, as far as protecting like what you're working on, what you're doing to protect like the people around you that you love. I think you guys do that anyway. You guys are very protective and loyal anyway. But you can see she's holding on to the world here. Some of you may be feeling very protective, like over your children as well. They may be doing things that you're like, oh my God, like being like thrill seekers here, or just trying to do too much. And you're like, you guys need to slow down. You're doing too much. Okay, but I also feel like protecting your energy and protecting like your body, because the 10 of Wands can be where we're getting very like physically exhausted too, okay? So Spirit just wants you to know that you're protected, and that what you're working on and doing is protected, even if at times you may self-sabotage, okay? Like your ultimate goal and your ultimate destiny is protected, okay? So thank you so much, my beautiful Tauruses. And if you would like to join me on the extended reading, I would love to see you there. Take care.